Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you guys every Alolan variant in their shiny forms. This video is just basically showing you guys what they look like, and maybe if you decide to shiny hunt in Pokemon Sun and Moon, then you might find an Alolan variant you really want to get as a shiny Pokemon. Now, question of the day to you guys, what is your favourite shiny Alolan variant? Maybe you haven't seen any, so this video would be helpful, but if you know what they look like already, then let me know in the comments below. But if you don't know what they look like, obviously whilst you're watching this video, just feel free to comment down which one's your favourite. Personally, I think I like Lowland Ninetails the best, but there are quite a few that are really good. So without further ado guys, let's get straight into the video. So starting this video off is Alolan Raichu, and the reason I've gone with Alolan Raichu is I'm going through the island order of the Alola region. So starting off on Melee Island, you can get Pichu, and eventually obviously you can get Alolan Raichu, which turns into a nice brown shiny. Really cool Alolan Raichu, definitely one of my favourite Alolan forms, and its shiny is very similar to just the Dedenne shiny from the Kalos region. As you guys know, Dedenne is a Pikachu clone, so it kind of makes sense to have a very similar colour scheme for another electric mouse Pokemon. But I really do like it, definitely one of my favourite Alolan forms and definitely one of my favourite shinies. Now next up is Alolan Meowth with its normal colour scheme of just a pale grey and white on its tail and feet, but its shiny looks really nice. Basically it has a dark grey, bluey kind of main colour with purple on its tail and its feet. Definitely worth shiny hunting for, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but I will be shiny hunting again over on Twitch. I've been waiting for a new Pokemon game just to shiny hunt for, and I just can't wait to do it on Pokemon Sun and Moon. Some of you might know that I shiny hunt before, but I've never really properly advertised it on YouTube, so I don't really have that many followers on Twitch, but I would definitely want to get loads of you guys to come watch me shiny hunt, because I just love it. I've shiny hunted for like a good year, and I've done probably around 30 streams, and I just really want to do it a lot more, maybe twice a week. But anyway, moving on to Alolan Persian shiny, just basically the same colour scheme as Alolan Meowth. I know a lot of people don't like this Pokemon, and originally, do you know what, I just didn't really like it at all, but it has grown on me. I know it's got a massive head and it is slightly weird, but it's not as bad as what people were saying. I still think Persian, normal Persian is better, sure, but Alolan Persian isn't too bad, that's just my opinion. But yeah, it's shiny, again, very nice and definitely worth hunting for. Next up is a Lowland Grimer, which is just plain green, and obviously it's got the yellow highlight around its mouth, but then it turns back to its kind of original colour scheme of purple, or a pinky purple, but it keeps a yellow kind of whatever, I guess that is. The yellow kind of disgustingness around Grimer's mouth. It's not the best shiny just because it goes back to its original colours, although I guess maybe you really like Grimers and you want an original colour Grimer in a Alolan form, then this is perfect, I guess. But I will say that Alolan Muck, which is coming up next, probably has the most disappointing shiny out of the Alolan forms. I just don't like it. So basically, as you guys see, it's green, and it's really cool how it changes and it kind of like the oil flows through it. But then they've missed a big opportunity. It basically looks the same, except it's, you know, just gone back to its pinky purple colour, which doesn't contrast well with the yellow and purple because it just doesn't really stand out. I think they should have changed all the colours for Alolan Muck. I think that would have been awesome. So get rid of the blues, the yellows and the pinks and change them as well. But unfortunately it just looks a bit disappointing to me. I know there will be some people out there who like it, and that's fine. And it still looks like a really cool Pokemon, just the shiny is a bit of a letdown for me. Next up, Alolan Diglett. Jeez, I don't know where to begin with Diglett and Dugtrio, the Alolan forms anyway. A lot of people don't like him. The shiny basically just stays the same as the original Diglett in the old games, except it's got that piece of hair. And you know what, it's okay, the shiny's pretty good. It definitely stands out compared to the original Diglett, so it's definitely worth shiny hunting for as well. But it's just, I don't know, I don't think they needed an Alolan Diglett and Alolan Dugtrio. It's just a bit strange, especially like what typing they are and their look in general. Like, Diglett's okay, but Alolan Dugtrio, I still can't get my head around it. Like, look at that. What is that supposed to be? And how is that ground and steel type? I will never know. I was expecting some water type maybe, because of all the like surfer hair, but no, it's ground and steel, and although it's a good Pokemon to have in your team, I'm just not a big fan of it personally. Let me know in the comments below, does anyone like Alolan Dugtrio? Because I just can't like it. And actually this is a very disappointing shiny as well, because they never changed the hair colour. I was expecting different hair, and again it just looks like Dugtrio's with wigs on it, because the hair didn't change at all, and that's even more disappointing about the design. It just looks like they've put wigs on Dugtrio. But anyway, next up is Alolan Marowak, definitely one of my favourite Alolan forms. I just really love its design, and its shiny isn't too bad either, so basically its main colour turns to purple when it gets a black chest as well. I'm very disappointed that the bone flames don't change colour, but do you know what? Alolan Marowak's design is so good that I don't really mind too much. I just wish there were like orange flames or red flames so it's shiny. But do you know what? It's still very good. Like Alolan Marowak, when I saw that first design, I thought that is an amazing Alolan form. Probably as good as Lowland Raichu for me, which is probably my favourite of the Alolan forms. But yeah, Alolan Marowak definitely worth having on your team and definitely worth shiny hunting for. Next up is Geodude though. One of the weirdest Alolan forms for sure, and then it looks like a cheese puff in its shiny form. It turns to a really bright orange, not a bad shiny though, because like I said, the contrast from its normal to shiny form is massive. So again, a good shiny to hunt for. But again, it's just Alolan Geodude is just an interesting Alolan form. I didn't think it needed an Alolan form. It looks very weird, but do you know what? It's probably actually a good Pokemon to have in your team, especially, well, I mean, Alolan Golem, anyway. And as you guys will see, that is coming up later in the video. But then, here is Alolan Graveler, looks fine, and then we've got the shiny form, and it kind of just looks like a big baking disaster. Kind of like a clump of just like chocolate and white chocolate chips and stuff like that, but it's not a bad Pokemon. I just don't understand what it's supposed to be. It's got all these kind of like black pieces of rock sticking out of it. But I actually do like it, Lowland Golem. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I actually do like it a lot. So here it is. It's got this kind of cannon sticking on the back of it, or maybe something that looks similar to a taser. And then it's got this mustache and a beard, although it could be chest hair maybe, looking at where it is. Kind of surprised the hair or the mustache doesn't change colour, but its shiny is really, really nice. I do like this colour scheme a lot. It looks a lot better than Alolan Geodude and Alolan Graveler. And Alolan Golem is just a good Pokemon in general. I do prefer its original form, don't get me wrong, but it's actually not a bad design and just a decent Pokemon, so definitely worth having on your team and definitely worth shiny hunting for if you're interested. Now next up is definitely one of my favourite shinies, and this is a Lowland Sandshrew. Now I probably do prefer its original form more just because the contrast is better with the ice and the chest and mouth area, but its shiny form, as you guys can see, turns into a dark or a palish blue colour, and it's okay, it's pretty good, but the contrast isn't really there because the ice actually just stays the same colour from its normal to shiny form. So I think if the ice changed to a different colour, or just like maybe a darker colour or a lighter colour, then it would have contrasted much better, but I do prefer its normal form more, but it's still good. Now next up is Alolan Sandslash, which is one of my favourite Alolan variants in the game, and its shiny actually works much better than Alolan Sandshrew's does. As you guys can see, it has a grey chest area compared to Sandshrew's shiny, which had a dark blue chest area, and it just contrasts much better. I think its kind of ice crystals on the back also become a bit darker, and it's just a really solid shiny. Definitely worth shiny hunting for. I will definitely shiny hunt for an Alolan Sandshrew at some stage just so I can get this shiny form because it looks fantastic. Definitely one of my favourites so far. And then we move on to a Lowland Vulpix, which is just a fantastic Alolan variant, and it's got a really nice shiny, so you can't see much change, but it kind of gains a red glow. It's just a very slight difference, but as you guys can see if you wind back through the video, it kind of adds this kind of a very slight red glow to its fur and to its eyes, but you kind of see it a bit more in Lowland Ninetails, which is probably tied first for my favourite Alolan form. But Vulpix, or Lowland Vulpix, looks very, very nice in its shiny form, and just shiny Vulpix, regular Vulpix, look very, very good. So this is definitely one of the first Pokemon I will be shiny hunting for. But moving on to Alolan Ninetails, this thing looks incredible. Not only has it got one of the best designs in the game, but it also has one of my favourite shinies as well. So it kind of gains this purple overlay, and its eyes turn into this bright purple. It just really stands out and it looks fantastic. Although it does actually remind me of ghost types just because of that kind of colouring. But it is actually, obviously, as you guys know, an ice fairy type. But it's definitely one of my favourite Pokemon to get in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Its typing's great, it's just a great design, and it's got a fantastic shiny, so definitely try and get a Lowland Ninetales on your team. And apologies for using Dazzling Gleam because it just covered up the entire shiny. No idea that was going to happen. But anyway, let's move on to the final shiny Alolan form, and this is the fan favourite Alolan Exeggutor. Now this thing is hilarious to use in battle, and its shiny is for me slightly disappointing, although it is traditional. So normal Exeggutors, or normal shiny Exeggutors even, have this shiny colouring with the kind of maroon coloured leaves and the golden trunk and everything else. I'm not the biggest fan of it personally. The contrast between its normal form and its shiny form is quite big, so it is definitely worth shiny hunting for, but I would say I prefer its original form more. But Alolan Exeggutor, very good Pokemon and very fun to use. Still kind of questioning the Grass Dragon typing, but anyway, those are all the Alolan variant shinies in the game. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favourite. I would have to say probably Lowland Ninetails or Lowland Marowak. Very, very cool Alolan forms. But anyway guys, if you did enjoy the video, definitely hit the like button down below. Really, really appreciate it. And if you're new around here and you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon Sun and Moon, then hit the subscribe button down below. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day and I will see you on the next video. Peace!